Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there. So you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. This episode is ad-free on the Patreon. So if you want to partake in that, you can head on over to patreon.com/realityt times 2. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, a podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing Any Day OG, episode 7. So let's just jump in. So we start off with Marissa and Edward. So Edward is meeting her family as she's just laying down the rules of how to act and be around them. He actually did meet her parents while in the DR, but he didn't have like a lot of one-on-one time with them because the kids were there too. So obviously it's going to be a little different. But y'all, it's not just her parents that are coming, okay? Everybody's coming because it's a big Italian family, so everyone's got to be involved. We have aunt, uncle, cousin, and the cousin's boyfriend, okay? But like, he's not the type of person they would have picked for her, obviously. And it makes me question, when you say that, not the type of person they would have picked, what do you mean? Do you mean that because he's not American, he's Dominican, he's poor? Like, what is the type of person that he is? Mom worries, it's not going to be easy. Anyone who thinks it would be is lying to themselves, whatever. And she's like, I don't know you. And then there's the age difference. There's the cultural differences. There are red flags. And I'm thinking, I don't see red flags with him. I get the general differences. That's normal. But I wouldn't consider those red flags. A red flag to me is like the type of person he is. How he is with the kids, how he's with her, like as a negative. Like those two things to me, I consider red flags. Like, for example, Mido is a fucking red flag. He's a walking red flag. I'll more on him later. So the parents and Marissa and the cousin is also going outside here, which I'm like, I thought this was just for maybe the 4 of them. Why is the cousin here? But I digress. They go over there to talk, and we talk about the obvious things, obviously, right? And Mom says, what I do know, I like, but I don't know you, right? And that's understandable. But people are going to want to be here because America, it's so great. Maybe normally, right now, it ain't so great. Okay. Especially for someone like him. Unfortunately, it's not very great. Okay. So, yeah, maybe give it another, what, 3 years? Do you got 3 more years? Fuck. Two. Oh, not even. Ugh. Okay. I'm fat. But he says, he was good. He was good where he was. He didn't I don't get the sense from him that this was a kind of man or person who wanted to be in America. Honestly, I don't get that feeling from any of the foreigners except for Mido, except for him. Otherwise, like when I think about who we have from of the foreigners, I don't get that vibe that these people actually like want to be here or need to be here, except for Mido. So, um, but like, why Marissa? Mom asked. And as much as Marissa bugs me, I do understand what she's saying as a response to what he's about to say. Is what is it about her? Okay, the answers he gives here is kind of the equivalent of Courtney saying the reason she likes Philip is because he's not a cheater. That's not about Philip. That's about Colt. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. So here's what he says. He says, I went through a lot. I'm guessing like a lot with relationships. He's like, I want respect. I don't want to be lied to. And she exhibits all of those things. It's literally the equivalent of Courtney basically saying, he just doesn't cheat on me. So that's why that's why I picked him. But she says, like, I want to live with those things because getting the parents' approval is so important to her. And here's my question. She's 45 years old. She's been married. She's got 2 kids. She is successful in her career. She got 2 houses. And she's pretty goddamn established. She's not like she's in her 20s, even 30s, and even then it's a stretch. It's not like she's young, not established, or any of those things, and you just want to get the approval of your people. I just question, why is her parents' approval so important to the point where it feels like she would hinge her relationship on the approval of her parents at her big age? You know, I just I do question, why is that important to you? Is it the inheritance? Is that what's going on? Would you is that it? Is it because you wanna make sure you're still in the will? Like, I just really wanna know, like, why. Anyway, mom says to the camera, "Marissa is extremely strong." I raised her that way. "So if the relationship ends, she'll be fine." Oh, well. Wow. Well, like, it was going good. She's strong, I raised her that way, fine, whatever. Give herself the credit. But, like, for her to be like, "She'll be fine." Oh, well. She comes and goes, it's fine, whatever. Like, wow. But anyways, that's Marissa and Edward. Let's move on to Debby and Mido, y'all. Ooh, buckle up. Um, he says, I didn't do anything. She's frustrated. From what? She has everything. She wants a conversation. Why? His plan? What's his plan, y'all? To go home back to his country. Bye. Bye and bye. It's nice knowing you. Get the fuck out. Back at the house, though, Debby says that I had a mini meltdown. She owns that. She had a mini meltdown because you have her friends literally telling her how he was acting at that spook house. Ain't ain't it? That was weird. That wasn't him on a date with you. That was him auditioning. And then you add the fact as well that while in the car, my guy's just sitting there, ignoring everybody, not saying two shits because he's on break. He's taking a break, y'all. He's tired. So that's what he's doing. And not saying a word or interacting with her friends or people. That's another thing. And then to come to him and say, like, she used the word frustrated, but let's change the word to overwhelmed, sad, disappointed, whatever it is. Mind you, I don't think he would be receptive to anything she says, but like that's basically what she's trying to say to him. And he comes down on her and says, well, what do you need to be frustrated about? Well, picking his nose, y'all. Don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot that. Nasty ass. Anyways, she says, like, instead of getting compassion from him, I get, what do you have to be upset about? And he goes to, I will just leave and that's not fair. Well, if that's not fair, man, why are you still doing this? And it's getting to the point with Debby, like, not at this point, because obviously we're 2 episodes ahead of this. But it's getting to the point for me with Debby where I'm just like, you are glutton for punishment. Really? But anyways, when he gets back to the house, he says that I'm done because she questioned my virginity and it's over. That's why you're done? Because that wasn't the tipping point. Yeah, sure, she said what she said, and I don't know why she had to say it. But at the end of the day, though, that's not the tipping point. The tipping point for her was one thing, and she's trying to express that. Well, your tipping point is, well, she questioned my virginity. Why does it matter? Why does it matter unless there's some truth to it? I'm sorry, I can't sit here and pretend this man's a goddamn virgin and at his big age. Can't. Sorry. Nah. So that to me makes me think like, are you more concerned that the cat's out of the bag? You know what I mean? Is that more what it's about? Because, people are going to watch the show and be like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, it's the next day. They're clearly not talking to each other. She is not sure if he has booked a flight or not. He couldn't find any flights, which seems really weird that even if it's the next day or 2 days later that you can't find a flight from New Orleans to Egypt. Seems weird. Not even just like bumfuck nowhere Egypt, freaking Cairo. Come on now. Anyways, so whatever that is. But she leaves the house and she's going to be seeing Astra later because Astra's been blowing up her phone, being like, you good, girl? What's going on? So while they meet up, Astra says, it felt like he was on a job interview instead of on a date with you. And I don't care what culture you come from, saying shut your mouth, woman, is not acceptable. I would agree. As much as like the whole thing of women have to be submissive to the men in Islamic culture, I'm sure there is still some form of respect for the woman that you're with. He doesn't, but that's the thing. That's the key here. I think if he actually loved and respected a woman that he's with, it would be different. Now, he's a narcissist. There's narcissistic tendencies with this guy. Do not get me wrong. But I do wonder if he has the ability to love and care and have compassion for someone who he actually does respect and actually wants to be in a relationship with. The problem is that he doesn't actually feel that for Debby. So saying things like, shut your mouth, woman, or whatever else, or is calling her a bitch and telling her to fuck off and all of this other stuff, it's because he doesn't respect her. Anyways, um, she's like, the veins in his neck were popping out. Like, there was rage. And Debby says, we have good days. Man, where? When? How? What? When she said that, I'm thinking, he's been here for less than 20 days. I think at the point of the current episode that this aired this week, it was like 20 days, 15 days or something like that at that point. He's been here for about 2 weeks. And I feel like there has not been a goddamn good day since he's been here. Okay, you have a situation with the truck in the video. Okay, that lasted for 2 days. Okay, the anger from that. Then you have this. In a short window, give me all of the breaks. Okay. When she said that, I was like, the fuck? She, she says, I don't know if he loves me. If you have to question it, that's your answer. And Asher asks, do you think he's here to be famous? Yes. Hi. Yes. Yes. Yes, he's here to be famous. And she says, well, he says that he's here for me. No, bitch. Wake up, open your brown eyes, and realize this man is full of shit. He's going to say and do everything possible to make sure you marry him, and he's going to leave you. It is literally going to be even Muhammad. We all remember Muhammad? We all remember him, right? I think I said the line that he said a couple episodes ago. You get it done. Yeah, that guy. Um, so we saw what happened there. Whether there's any truth to it, I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember all the details. It was so long ago. But look what he did. He made sure and ensured that he was going to be staying staying in America. He figured that part out. There is no telling what this Muhammad is going to do. No telling. So, yeah, she said, but he hasn't even shown, or I said that he hasn't even shown that once, that he's actually here for her. All he talks about is Hollywood, my career, my dreams, my this, my that. You should be supportive of me. Make sure you take this video. Do this, do that. Everything for his career, quote unquote. All of that. Never once talking about where you're getting married. When are you getting married? How are you getting married? Who's marrying you? Is he buying a tux? Is he buying a dress? What's happening? Nothing planning for the actual wedding that needs to happen in less than 90 days. But sure, he's here for you. Debbie says that he needs to apologize to her in order to have this be better. But what does an apology mean? Apology doesn't mean shit. Any person, any top dick here, you can say I'm sorry and not necessarily mean anything. So I don't know why she's hinging on an apology and thinking that will make it better. But Asher says, I have bad vibes from this guy. Same girl, same. She's like, I think you need to get him out. Agreed. Anyways, that's them. Let's move on to Shea and Anabelle. We get back to the house. How did it go? She's feeling better. She understands that there was nothing going on, but so we gotta deal with Nicole. Okay, we need to deal with that shit. But she does forgive him. But he wants to go out and watch a football game, have a drink, a couple beers. It's going to be fine. She's like, no, no beers. You're going to drink herbal tea with me, and we're going to do some yoga. You have to lose weight so you can have better sex with me because I'm always on top. But yeah. And he's like, you think that's you don't think that maybe that's because I want you to be? Okay. But to me, what they're doing is not at all yoga. It's not this. That wasn't yoga. I don't think this man could do downward dog to save his goddamn life. But if you try, you'll get there. Anyways, that was quick for them. Not much there. Let's move on to Catie and Josh. So he has the furniture, y'all. He figured it out. But he just wants someone wants her, I guess, to acknowledge about his sacrifice that he's put in to be there with her, sacrificing his life, sacrificing his home, his people. Those are things that she doesn't quite acknowledge. She said, but I did it when I moved to the UK for a year. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought the same thing. He's literally picking himself up, taking his whole goddamn life, moving. You were on vacation. It's not the same thing. He says as much. He's like, I cannot leave here for a year because if he does, he loses his status, right? So It's not the same. She could come and go as she wishes. He can't. But it's her birthday, y'all. And we're going to a bar because Doi and one of her friends, Ryan, is going to be coming. And maybe she shouldn't have invited him because we're about to get a lot from that. She apparently met him in Boston a couple of years ago when she was going to be running in the marathon. They ran another marathon together in, I think it was Berlin. And they made out. And this is while she was with Josh, and Josh saw the whole thing. She's like, it was my chaotic era. Ma'am, if that was your chaotic era, what the fuck is this? What is this? Is there a step down from chaos? Because I personally think, ma'am, you're still in it. You're still in it. Anyways, so now she has to tell Josh that he's coming, that Ryan's coming. So while they're getting ready, she tells him, I got something to tell you. And he actually asks her, are you pregnant? If she was pregnant, by Jesus Christ, we need to fix it. I'm not saying fix it, but fix it. Jesus, fix it. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I invited someone that you don't like to my birthday party. And he asks who, and she says it's Ryan. And he says, this is awkward. And she explains that, which I don't know how truthful this is. He basically told her that he was there in Portland and she invited him. And she's like, I didn't give it much thought if it was a good idea or not. Ma'am, you don't give him much of anything, much thought, to be totally honest. She's like, I just got excited. And he explains just a little bit more from his perspective. They were partying in Germany. We'll later find out from Ryan it was Oktoberfest. And they got drunk and he saw that they kissed. She then went traveling with Ryan alone for 2 weeks, and he went back to the UK by himself. The fuck? I think they were running a marathon together, and that's why they were together for 2 weeks. But Jesus, after you just saw that your girlfriend is made out with this guy, he confronted her about it, and she did apologize to him. But for the entire 2 weeks, obviously, he was waiting for her to tell him something more had happened. But she said, they never had sex. So he decided to trust her and her words. But he just wishes that Ryan would just fuck off. He said, go away. But I said that and live his life. And she says, like, I wish that I could be a better partner. But, like, I want the thrill. So the fuck you say? You say you wish you could be a better partner, but it's not difficult to be that, or better yet, it's not difficult to make the effort and to do whatever you need to do to ensure you can actually be that for him. To me, it feels like she just doesn't actually care. And maybe she does, but it comes across as she doesn't. So we're heading to her party, and it's interesting that when posed to her, what if Josh was the partier and he's partying with women and doing what she does? She says, well, I would be upset and I'd be jealous, but I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because, like, that's not actually happening. But that's not the point he's trying to make. He's basically trying to show you that how you would feel is how I feel. And it doesn't feel good, would it? Or it wouldn't feel good. But I'm living it. It doesn't feel good. So why would you do that? Why would you want to make me feel that way? But he, instead of saying that in that way, says that statement is stupid. Wow. We arrive at the bar, and then here comes Ryan. And she says to the group, like, she craves the party lifestyle. That is what is more important to her over marriage. Run. Like, I don't know what more he needs. His group of people, he says that she has a great heart, but she's unpredictable. You've known that from point one. My guy, you met her while she was on a date with another guy and she was making out with other people. And when she got to you, you told her to get away from you until you didn't. So Catie, Ryan, and Josh go outside to have a conversation to clear the air. And Josh asks, why are you here? And he says, me and Catie have had conversations about what she wants in her life. And you're thinking, what kind of conversations? And there is a reason that these things keep happening. And he says to her, have you thought about what you want? And again, you're thinking, the fuck she's saying to this guy? And Josh asks her, like, are we going to get married? And that's kind of where we ended there with them. Hi, everyone. So I have a new product for you to take part in. This one is called Zelda merch. Zelda, like the video game. So just a little bit about Zelda merch. So they are the first store that is dedicated to the Legend of Zelda merch, and it stands out. At Zelda Merchandise, they specialize in delivering one-of-a-kind, high-quality Legend of Zelda merchandise that you won't find anywhere else. So whether you're a devoted fan of Zelda, or you collect unique items, or you're just searching for the perfect gift for someone, I could think of someone myself who I could gift this for, their exclusive products are designed to celebrate your love for the series. So they pride themselves in offering a diverse range of premium items. So you can get stylish apparel or stunning accessories to captivating home decor and collectibles. So what sets them apart is their dedication to bringing you rare and distinctive creations inspired by the iconic world of Zelda. So from exclusive designs featuring your favorite characters and symbols to custom crafted treasures, you won't find this anywhere else. Everything in their store is made to amaze. So these are different things that you can find. If you're interested, you can get exclusive designs inspired by Zelda's legendary world, premium craftsmanship at the best prices, unique creative products that elevate your fandom. So they have like weekly bestsellers. They have different rings that you can partake in. They also have Bluetooth controllers or Joy-Con chargers, Nintendo Switch carry cases, Zelda games, of course, and they have Switch card holders, different controllers that are obviously Zelda inspired, or you can go for the more like merchandise type stuff. They have wallets, music boxes, phone cases, mouse pads, keycaps, purses, plushies, watches, mugs. I think I know what I'm going to be doing. I think I know what I'm going to be getting. A special person in my life who loves Zelda. They have mugs, alarm clocks, backpacks. They also have different jewelries, necklaces, keychains, earrings. I mentioned the rings already, or even just other fun stuff like puzzles, paintings, rugs, blankets, even bedding. They also have stickers if you want to go that route, or wall art, posters. You can also get things for someone's birthday, birthday themed Zelda, figures, lamps, Lego. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So if you want to partake in that as well as support the podcast, you can go to zelda-merchandise.com/reality2. So that again is zelda-merchandise.com/reality2 to partake in that. There is also a coupon code that will also be reality2 that you can also use at checkout as well to support not only Zelda merchandise, but as well as the podcast. Let's move on to Thomas and Paula. We're going on a hike. Ew. She was just one day that he would be a gentleman with her and like open a car door for her. Please, I'm not time for that shit. She says We hang out with other people wearing perfume and he never complains. Fair point. And while driving, he just feels like my sinuses, they're going off. It's just not normal for him. But sir, if the perfume's all gone long ago and you glued the thing shut, you potentially have windows open. What's going on? And if what she's saying is true, that's selective. That's selective behavior. They're going to make it work. What the hell stretch is he doing? They do the hike, whatever. They go the next scene, we see him doing some stretch against the wall. His ass is literally touching the wall and he's just stretching. It was the weirdest stretch. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And he's been in that position apparently for 10 minutes and his face is beet red. He says, I'm stretching out my legs. So like, okay, there's better ways. There's better, simpler, less dangerous ways. But she's unpacking and obviously she cannot hang everything. Okay. He thinks that just hang it all. It's fine. She's like, I can't hang everything. Like underwear, socks, bras. Can't hang everything. And she just wants a dresser. I don't think that's crazy. And not even just a dresser. She's literally asking for like a nightstand type idea. Something small. And you can get that easy. Does it say have IKEA? You could get that easy. It's not a big deal. So, his solution, he gives her a little like basket, like a basket that you get like at a dollar store and says, here you go. You can use that. No, no, no. Then she brings a rock. And this is where she loses everybody. She gets a rock that she bought that will help with cleansing a space. It cost her $250. Huh? See, here's the thing. I get it. She likes the manifestation and the spiritualism and all of that. Fine. But spending $250 on a goddamn rock, I would have to agree with him and be like, that's bad investment. There are rocks everywhere here. I can get you one for free. You know what I mean? Like, no. And she attributes her rock to him eating more foods because apparently when they first met, he wasn't eating a lot of foods due to his Crohn's. And she's like, the rock help. Question, you said it's supposed to help with cleansing a space. How does it do that if it wasn't into space? Just saying. And how does one carry like, listen, it's a rock. It's a decent sized rock. Would you have to pay extra to check that bag in? Because it's literally going to go over the weight limit. What the hell? So it's in this moment that he decides to give her a credit card. And great, that obviously he'll have to pay for, right? And he says, this is a cashless, time, and especially in Los Angeles. Well, I know he's in Long Beach, but you know what I'm saying. And you can't really go very far without something that you can pay for stuff, right? And I actually was thinking there are prepaid type credit cards that you could have given her. Instead, you went and got her, sit tight, everybody, for the amount I'm about to share with y'all, $25,000 limit credit card. She's gonna be able to buy a lot of fucking rocks with that credit card. Okay? That was a bad idea. Anyways, that's them. Let's move on to Mallory and Brigitte. Is this our last couple? Oh, nope. It's our second last couple. Okay, so Mallory and Brigitte. The dogs got to sleep in the bed with them, only because he was drunk. Okay, he was in his right mind. And he cuddled up with Opal, sweet baby girl Opal. And Mallory basically says, like, he got white girl wasted. And he's like, what's this? What did he say? White girl, something. He didn't say it properly, but anyways. So he is going to make a Turkish breakfast. He just feels like it's called menemen. It's going to make her whole cry. And he's like, perfect. That's what you want. He had a good time yesterday, but then there was Brandy. He didn't listen to me, he says, and he is very angry about this. And she doesn't think that she can completely cut out Brandy. There are connections there. Michaela's husband is best friends with Brandy, but she stands her ground, and I love that she does. And he's not going to come in and change her life. And if he had so much issues with American culture, then maybe he should have married a Turkish woman. Yep, maybe, maybe. Anyways, that's them. More on them later on another episode. Aisha Maxwell, y'all. Let's buckle up. Put on a sweater to cover yourself. I'm from a family, he tells her, because you can't show your arms, okay? She says, he tells me to be sexy 24/7 and cover up with his family. Like, she's confused about like what he wants. Ma'am, you have been on this planet Earth for 38 years, okay? You over here predicting when a song is going to play back in the early 2000s, and it is most likely going to be an NSYNC song, whether it's going to be Bye 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 or it's going to be Me. It's a toss-up, okay? But anyways, you're over here doing all of that. You really trying to tell me that you don't understand the concept of having to properly present yourself in front of a man's family? It's not rocket science. He is the firstborn. So yikes, y'all. He is very important, obviously, to the family, and he has to attract a good wife. Yeah. But they will not be staying in the same room together while they're here. Whether or not that, I'm sure that's happened in the past, y'all. But because parents are here, we're going to be whatever. And what's funny here actually is like, oh yeah, like my mom said we couldn't be in the same room. Haha, yeah, you're right. And Aisha's like, she's right though. I'm sorry, pardon the fucking of me. The fact that he's like, oh, so you're seriously saying I can't sleep here? Tells me that when the cameras aren't rolling, you ain't so religious. You ain't so godlike. You know what I mean? You catch my drift? You let a little bit of the devil come in. You know what I mean? To be a little evil. Okay, we get where I'm going with this. But to me, it's like the cameras come on and she's just pretending as if I can't sleep in the same room with you. As if they'd never had sex before. But she doesn't appear to like his sister Blaze, who we'll meet in a little bit, who she describes as a private investigator. Yeah, good for she. It's now dinner time. We're meeting the sisters. And it's funny because Blaze and Aisha, or mainly Aisha, kind of says, oh yeah, we look alike. We look alike. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But apparently Blaze went through her entire Facebook profile from day fucking one. She's like, when did Facebook start back in 2009? No, honey, before then. But yes. And she went all the way back and actually admitted to Maxwell that she had done it. And I just admit this was funny. She's like, I wouldn't admit that. If I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't admit it. But mama don't like Nigerian food. Aisha's mama, she don't like Nigerian food. She's like, if the chicken was a little bit more tender, it'd be fine. Maxwell's mom, though, will teach Aisha how to cook. And she's like, well, maybe you could teach both me and Maxwell. Like, no, no, no men in the kitchen. Mm-mm. We don't enter the kitchen. Really now. Is that just Nigerian culture? Is that all African culture? Because I know my man enters the kitchen. So then Blaze asks, how many kids do you want to have? And Asia says two. And she explains, like, kids in America are expensive and whatever, right? No. No. These two kids you're talking about, not acceptable. Not acceptable. Dad says we would like at least 4 kids. You gonna push them out? You gonna push them out? Don't let me side with Aisha, but I'm gonna side with her here. You gonna push them out? You gonna raise them from 0 to 18 and pay for their education? You gonna do that? Because by all means, then she'll have 4 then. You do it though. Blaze says, here women are submissive. And she says, I should say, Aisha says, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean he shouldn't listen. I don't like that, but I hear what she's saying. For sure, I agree with her. It's like we talk about, the chemical, or I say we talk about the chemical peel that he got, and it was nasty, y'all. They showed the pictures, the progression pictures. Yeah, gross. And apparently, she wants him to fix the whites of his eyes because it's had sun damage. Let me fucking repeat. I didn't even know this was a procedure you could do, but apparently there is a procedure out there in the goddamn world where you can change the whites of your eyeballs because you've been exposed to too much sun. Just like you go and you whiten your teeth, you can go and do the same thing with your eyes, a 2-for-1. You know what I mean? This is some bullshit. She needs help. She needs Jesus. Because I don't know what she's been getting, but Jesus left the goddamn building, okay? And his sister literally sounds like this is normal. Having the whites of the eyes be a different, like the color that they appear. It's normal in Nigeria because they are constantly in the sun. They're in the sun. There's no winter, spring, or fall. It's always summer. When the sun is out. Where does she come from? Where'd she come from? I don't get it. Where the fuck does this woman come from? Is she over here basically telling him, so the whites of your eyes are just not very white, and I think we're gonna have what? Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna have to stop it there. That's it for Asia and Maxwell, and that's it for the episode. We'll be back with another one soon enough. But until then, y'all, that is it for me, and that is it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, bear with me because I have not done an outro for the podcast in quite some time. So bear with me here. So if you liked what you heard, you can go to any of your favorite podcast apps. You can like, follow, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And you can also rate the podcast at either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'd be greatly appreciated. As a reminder, any 5-star ratings that are given to the podcast or any comments that are given to the podcast will be read on the podcast, which I have done in the past. If you want to connect with the podcast through social media, you can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Reality T ×2. You can also find me at Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Reality ×2 Pod. I believe you can email me at realityt2@hotmail.com, and you can have any inquiries, anything like that, any ideas, any shows or episodes you want me to cover, you can definitely do that over there. And I am going back to our old website, and that is at solo.to/reality T ×2. There you can get any of the links to anything that I didn't mention here, any of the socials, website, email, all of that. It's all there for you. And we also have a new thing there where you can help support the podcast as well. It's called a tip jar. And you could tip whatever your heart's desire if you want to support the podcast, but don't want to necessarily support the podcast in going to Patreon, for example, or any of the links in any of the advertisements. You can do it there. But since we're on the topic of Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality T ×2, where there you can get access to even more than what I do here. There are 3 different tiers where you can get these shows ad free, as well as our next tier up where you would get another reality show that's being covered. So, we have Jersey Shore that's been getting covered. That's still being covered currently at the time of recording of this outro, but the future is bright with what's to come in the future, which I will be discussing, or I have discussed, I don't even know. And then also our next tier is a true crime tier as well. So you can definitely head over for that. But that is basically it. I will also just quickly mention here too, if you're interested in a different take of a podcast that I'm a part of, where we do things a little differently, you can head on over to Next Take Podcast, where I usually drop bonus episodes here on this feed, but there you get a lot more. And that podcast is making changes, we're growing, doing new things. But you can definitely head on over there if you want to just hear a little bit different than what I do over here. So you can find that podcast over at our website, the solo.to/next take podcast. And there we'll have all the links to your desire that will link you to any of your favorite podcast apps or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Social medias, it's all over there. But of course, you can still find that podcast at any of your favorite podcast apps. But that is it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode. Bye, everybody.